Welcome back. It's time to get interactive. Send that message now, and we'll read it for the whole world to hear your thoughts. Hey.
That's right, Steve. Good evening.
Hey, good evening. What's up?
Nothing much. Actually, we have quite a number of issues we are going to be discussing on GN Interactive this evening. But before I get into that, let me just read out a few of the comments that are coming through on social media about the police.
On the back of the police?
Yes, on the back of the police case. Okay. Joseph Kojo says, what of people who go to the police station to report a case and they ask you to pay for the charge sheet? I was once a victim.
Wow.
Michael Ajono says, Ghana police, the least you talk about them, the better. And then Fadil Mohammed say, we even pay to file a complaint. We pay before they grant bail. We pay before they come to pick an unknown dead body.
Oh my
so
God.
That's what he's saying. Silva Davis says he doesn't understand why he should pick a taxi for the police to go and arrest someone he has pressed charges against. What are the police vehicles there for? Yeah. And I guess we raised that issue of fuel for police.
It's crazy. A lot more. I think that this affects a lot more people than we thought. That the response we got on Facebook were phenomenal.
Yeah. But God knows Nuopo Billy doesn't think we should bash the police too much. He says, is it bad? It is bad, but if they are not really having the fuel, where do you expect them to get it from? We should rather encourage the good ones to do more to protect us than hailing insults on them. They risk their lives 24/7 just to ensure our safety.
That's true.
So those are a few of the comments coming through on social media. You're welcome. Let me tell you what's coming up on JN Interactive this evening. KKD, the finest, is perhaps more traumatized than the victim, Erefe Orleans Thompson. Today's court session had to be adjourned because it seems KKD is traumatized and needs psychological help. This news has been making waves. Also, are you angry with ECG because the media is giving them bad publicity? Well, apparently the ECG thinks the media is pitching the public against them. This is our GN Interactive for today. I am Ifwa Akwa Harrison, and you are watching the most interactive half hour on TV. I'll be right back. And remember, you can join us via our social media handles. We're on facebook.com/Joy News on TV. We're also on Twitter, Joy News on TV, or GN Interactive GH. Also send us an email. It's joynewsim@multitvworld.com, or send your messages through on WhatsApp. The number is 054-010-9009. Now, the woes of KKD, the finest, began on December 27, 2014, when the airport police arrested him after a 19-year-old accused him of raping her in a hotel washroom. Well, after 19 days of detention, KKD was granted bail. Despite Erefe Orleans Thompson's request to discontinue the high-profile case, the state decided to go ahead with it. Last week, his lawyers told the court he was not well and had been given bed rest. Today, we are told he is traumatized and needs to see a psychologist. Seriously, what is happening to the finest? Well, Kwachi Afre Nyama was in court.
What happened in court today?
As you may recall, the last agenda date on that was January 5, the Ace broadcaster did not show up in court, and the reason his lawyer provided was that he had been rushed to the hospital. Well, today he didn't appear, and this is the second time. And Susanna Nyako, who held brief for KKD's legal counsel, Anthony Forson, explained to the presiding judge, Ajua Achama, that doctors at the Kolebu Teaching Hospital have referred Mr. Dakwa to to see a clinical psychologist. And what I'm learning from sources within the camp of KKD is that this is due to the huge psychological strain that the entire trial is having on him. But the director of public prosecution at the Attorney General's department was unhappy about the second no-show by KKD. She then referred to the medical report that was submitted to the magistrate court after the last hearing, and her argument was that per that document, KKD is expected to go for weekly reviews. That's every Wednesday, so there can't be any excuse for his absence today, Thursday. But the lawyer representing Kwesi J. Dakwa clarified that it was during his visit to the Kolebu Teaching Hospital yesterday for his weekly review that doctors asked that he sees a clinical psychologist this morning. The prosecutor raised no further objection, so the case was adjourned to February 18 for trial to continue.
Obviously, this seems to be infuriating the judge a lot. Do you think it sort of puts the famed broadcaster in a very tight corner in this case, a possible bench warrant in the future?
Well, at the last hearing, the judge and the prosecutor were not happy about the fact that the KKD was not in court. The reason they gave was that they hadn't duly been notified. But today, it's clear that even though the second letter stating that he sees a clinical psychologist was not made available to the court before proceedings began, the judge understood that due to the circumstance, the case had to be adjourned. She wasn't, comparatively, she wasn't as upset as she was the other time. And I spoke to the prosecutor herself after proceedings today, and she said she appreciated where lawyers for KKD were coming from, the reason they were not able to appear in court. And I'm talking about the state prosecutor on this call.
Very well. Thank you very much, Afre, for the update.
And you heard Joy News reporter Kwachi Afre Nyama in an interview with Kemini Amano on Joy News today. We have your comments on social media. Let's quickly go on to Facebook. Lorenda Ofosu says, very sad, wishing him a speedy recovery. Share Butter says, who cares? We should let the law do its work. Robert Kofi Soklu says, this is Ghana for you. Old people taking what belongs to the youth and destroying it. Is he sick because of the rape charges, or he was sick before that? Vivian Tufor is also saying get well soon to KKD. And T. Ajwa B says you can therefore imagine the psychological trauma the victim herself is also going through. Mohammed Mawan says all biazan to stay out of jail. Danny Bill Boating says he hasn't seen any, or you haven't seen anything yet, old man. Cornelius Body says you will kill the young man, Abba. Bernard Kobina is also saying you haven't seen anything yet. Shame on to you. Kwesi Gate is asking whether it's the Pantang or in Sawam Psychiatric Hospital. Maybe it's asylum down, Kwesi. Anita Na says, KKD, you're going too far. Are you sure it's not factitious disorder and malingering? I think you mean fictitious. Suriwe Maxwell says the end shall justify the means. Apia Justice Jr. says they should leave the young man alone. And then Ibrahim Suleiman Bamba replies to Justice and says, wait, say this to the police when your relative is raped. Edward Kenzori, please pray for the old man because the tables can go around. Marjorie Tremating says, well, that's a first. Two comments from Chum Barima Kenneth saying that he's a wicked man. And Bernice Mreku is saying, this is serious, even after coming out willingly to apologize to the public. Papa Hinman thinks this is a nice strategy. And Richard Doe saying law is law. So those are a few of your comments coming through on our Facebook page on KKD not showing up in court and citing psychological reasons. Now moving on, ECG, electricity comes and goes. Sorry, I mean the Electricity Company of Ghana is angry with the media. They believe the media is inciting the public against them. So we have been out and about finding out from the public whether what they feel towards ECG is as a result of what the media has been telling them. But before that, let me just read the article we found on Star FM online. Speaking on the Ultimate Breakfast Show on Thursday, the Ashanti Regional Public Relations Director Erasmus Bedu told Prince Minka that though his outfit acknowledges the role of the media in developing the country, some news outlets are taking advantage of the current power crisis to unjustifiably hang the company. You have gone wrong on many occasions. We understand the role of the media. The Constitution clearly defines it, but what we have noticed is that some of the media houses intentionally set out an agenda just to make ECG look hostile in the eyes of the ordinary consumer. Though throughout this crisis period, everybody is focusing on ECG as if ECG is the cause and the bad boy of the group. What we notice is that in terms of bringing out the issues, you frame the picture as if ECG is this, ECG is that. So that's the article we picked on Star FM online. Well, let's go out on the streets to find out what people are saying. Is the media really inciting the public against the ECG?
The ECG is not about the press, but I will say that it's about what they are doing, because you off the light, you on it, you off it, not on it. It's one business, you know, it's one business. So imagine if you are running a business and then they are owning it and offing it, the business will come down. So that is the point I have. It's not about the insulting of the leaders, but it's about the work that they are doing. It's unqualified people. That's what I would say.
It's obvious that they are not doing their work well. So I don't think it's the media who is causing Ghanaians to insult the government. It's obvious. If something is wrong, we are grown-ups and we know what's going on in the country. So the media has nothing to do with Ghanaians insulting. Yeah, I don't think so.
All right, honestly, I don't think the media is to blame for all this. It's like in Ghana here, we are fond of covering things up, okay? And it's like the situation is there, but we want to cover it up and make it look like it's cool or something like that. So I think the media is doing the right thing by bringing it to our knowledge. For instance, I didn't know anything about this until you told me. So it's like it's good that the media is bringing to our knowledge all these kind of things, okay? So the government should forget, or ECG should forget about the media exaggerating, over-exaggerating all these kind of things and all that. So I think it's better that you bring some of these things, and I would prefer that you bring us more, because most of us, because of school and some of these things, we are not able to know all these things. So like, if it's better you bring it to the newspapers, on TV and all those things. Most of you students, for instance, can have like first-hand information about what's going on in the country. So I think they should forget about the fact that the media is over-exaggerating everything in the country. And I think the Dumsor issue is like, it's getting out of hand. So I think the media should be doing, the more you guys bring it out, the more I think they will put in measures to correct all these things.
I'm Osei from Newtown. I think the ECG people, they shouldn't blame the media. The media has done nothing to them. They should blame themselves. They have poor management. Everything is poor. Even now, if you buy generator for Dumsor, so I don't know what to tell them. So ECG, they should sit up and do their work.
I'm Frederick Apia, students of Accra Polytechnic. Yeah, first year students. And I think the media is the problem to all those things. Because I think there's a little problem at the Akosomo, and that's the reason why the ECG is having problems with the distribution of current. So I think they have to come down and relax. The media have to come down and relax. Not that they should be. Not that giving out certain words or certain information, certain wrong informations, but they need to go to the ECG and seek for the right information and give it out to the public, so that the public will know how to conduct themselves.
I personally think the media is not at fault, because I mean, they are our voices. So, I mean, if something like this is going on in Ghana and it's like if they don't talk about it or if we don't tell them about it for them to bring it out, how will the authorities know how we are feeling? Because it's a democratic world or country, so every person has a say in it. So I think the media is doing a great job because they are voices, so they have to voice it out there. So that's what I think. So if the media is not doing his work or any work at all, then I think like our voices will not be heard or something. So I think the media is doing a very great job. Yeah. Sure.
Like me, seriously, I don't think the media is exaggerating because, one, we say Dumsor. What's the need of that Dumsor? You are not providing us with electricity. The media is saying, is talking about you not providing us with electricity. You are here talking about over-exaggerating. In which way or what manner? We just don't understand the public. They should enlighten us a little because I don't just understand what that means about no saying that Dumsor. Dumsor is not the relevant issue now. Is we getting light for each other. Our businesses writing exams. Even this week we wrote exams. None of the week we wrote of the days we wrote exams we had light. Why? And you are here talking about irrelevant issue. No, that's not important. They should rather find out how to get the light for us to use our light for other purposes. That's simple.
I agree with the ECG because maybe there will be some small problem at certain area, but these presenters will be they will voice in the air saying, oh, there is a Dumsor at this particular place. Maybe it may be some small problem which has come over that place, but because you people bring it out that there is Dumsor, people also will buy by it by saying that, hey, this place they have been given a light out. Meanwhile, there is a problem there. So sometimes the media should also limit the way they bring things out. Like there is Dumsor this place, there is Dumsor this place. It's not all of them being a fault from the ECG.
Well, seems like the last gentleman in that video blog does not live in the country, but someone who definitely is obviously distressed and is angry. He sent us a message, Benjamin Nana Ewa, all caps locks, and he's saying that I want you, Joy News. Actually, he's talking to us. He says he wants Joy News to help Ghanaians understand why is it that the Dumsor, in this Dumsor situation, why do we pay more monthly bills than when we were even enjoying power fully in the past? Because now that we are experiencing Dumsor, I thought it was wise and due that the bills will be reduced, but it keeps on increasing. Why? In fact, if they are using this to pay their debt of 2 billion cedis, they should stop and embark on a different angle. Why, Mother Ghana? So that one is from Benjamin Ewa, very upset at the electricity company of Ghana. Well, still to come, Lord Korte with what's trending after this. Welcome back to JN Interactive with me, Ifwa Akwa Harrison. We've had a pretty packed evening. We've been telling you about KKD's no-show in court. That's KKD the finest, and also the ECGs saying some media houses are inciting the public against them. It seems like we are letting the public think that they are devils in this crisis, and they say it's not so. Anyway, let's move on to what's trending. The man behind me, I'm sure you can see him, he is trending on social media right now. Lord Korte, take it away.
Now, the Minister for Youth and Sports, Mahama Yaga, is trending today too. So apparently he has accused Ghanaian journalists of asking him useless questions. He made this statement when he was asked to give details about the expenditure incurred for the AFCON 2015. Well, section of the public haven't taken this lightly, and there have been some reactions. Let's go check them out on Twitter. The first tweet is from Lucky Smalls. He says, "You've removed the feathers of a bird and you want me to tell you what kind of bird is that? Ayarga, come again." And this is Kwabna. "I side with Mahama Ayarga. He probably didn't convey his point in the best way, but I concur with him." Okay, Kwabna. And this is Wendy Kusi. "Mahama Ayarga losing his school on journalists lately. Chop chop be a happen ana." Okay, and this is from Carl NB. Okay, so he was quoting Akosi Amu. "Mahama Ayarga is treading a very dangerous path. Accra we day. He doesn't seem to know." Okay, this is Murphy Nanasabi. "Honorable Mahama Ayarga is undoubtedly the most popular man in GH now." I know, right? I mean, he was trending yesterday, he's trending today too. This is Takadini. "Mahama Ayarga, same old money chopping and mismanagement, just a different minister." Okay, so what do you make of the statement that the minister made saying journalists ask useless questions? I mean, if you ask, I think it was a little bit harsh, but well, his opinion really. This has been What's Trending. I am Lord Haitodasari.
And that was What's Trending with Lord Edu Asare. His name change is still confusing me quite a bit. I think I'll get the hang of it as time goes on. Well, Ayarga's woes are not over. Lawyer Akoto Ampao is also not happy with him.
The minister ought to know that he's not there as a minister in his own right. He's there as a minister for and on behalf of the people of Ghana. And indeed, the constitution of our country, in the very first article and first clause, says that the sovereignty of Ghana resides in the people of Ghana, in whose name and for whose welfare the powers of government are to be exercised in a manner consistent with the provisions of the Constitution. So the powers of government that is exercising are on behalf of the people of Ghana and for their welfare. He's not a minister for himself. So he cannot tell any Ghanaian that he has no obligation to tell us how much was spent and on what the monies were spent in the African Cup of Nations.
And before we wrap up, let's take a look at the video of the day. We are dedicating it to the ECG. Steve,
damn,
solution for your wife?
Creativity.
When the lights go off,
oh my
when
God.
It's 24 hours off, or like some people have been saying 72 hours, 3 days, they've had no light. One of our colleagues has been complaining
you put charcoal fire
bitterly.
in your saucepan.
Yes.
And you iron.
And you iron.
Now, that's great, but it can be very dangerous even that you're in a house with children.
Exactly. They
oh
can
God.
just put their
Would you do that?
Why not? Desperate times call for desperate measures.
This kind of desperation is beyond you. I don't think I would do that, seriously.
Yeah.
But I'll choose to wear my shirt. And for us, man, it's easy for us. You put on your shirt, I mean, it's wrinkled. You put on a jacket, and you're fine.
You know what? You know what? Someone suggested that maybe offices should now start providing irons for.
Yeah, we are lucky here. We do have because of the nature of our job.
Yes.
So I sometimes bring my shirts unironed, then I'll just come and press them here. See, Charlie, but you know, because Jim's generator is the one which is doing it all. So it's not easy. Honestly, it's not easy. I mean, I'm going through some Facebook posts and some of the entrepreneurs who have businesses.
People are struggling. People are struggling. Oh, so another dedication to the ECG, just to say good night from us. Picture of the day. You know,
that's
Dumsor.
Dumsor. I haven't seen that. Dumsor. It's like the
generator
coat of arms.
Yes. So
that's Republic of Generator.
Exactly.
Interesting, but hey, we're making a lot of fun about this energy challenge.
But it's a serious issue, and people are angry and upset.
I know.
I don't think we are inciting anybody.
I'm unable to sleep. I mean, when it's so steaming hot, all I do is to lie down and fan myself and sweat all night.
We pray for a solution soon.
We need a solution, please, Charlie, for help us. My name is Stephen Enti.
And my name is Ifo Akwa Harrison. Have a good evening.
And enjoy the rest of our programs. Bye-bye.
Bye.